Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to this channel. Today's math tutorial is just the second version of the marathon we had the last time. So today we should be looking at more than 1 hour of math tutorials, and it's basically going to focus on various math topics that we might encounter. We write any external exams or even your personal school exams. Okay, so without wasting time, what will happen is that currently have only one person watching. I don't know if that's correct, but never mind. We will still continue, and then the others should join in anytime soon. So today, the very first topic we want to look at will be about standard form. So with standard form, before I talk about standard form, I would want to talk about decimals. Okay, so we want to look at decimals and how to solve decimals and how we can easily work decimals. Okay, so decimals. So we'll concentrate on decimal fraction. We'll concentrate on decimal fraction. So basically, decimal fraction is just another way of writing fractions. Okay, it's just another way of writing fractions, and I believe the statement decimal is self-explanatory. It basically means that you are writing fractions in decimal form. Okay, so having that, basically, let's assume we have this example. Okay, so they are saying that we should write 0.55 as a fraction in its lowest term. Okay, so pardon my handwriting, but I'm sure you should be able to see. Okay, so let's look at how decimals work. So decimals, as I said, is just another representation of fractions. Okay, so with this particular decimal, they are saying we should express as a fraction. It basically means that now we don't want to write it as what, a decimal, but I want to write it as what, a fraction. Okay, so we actually want to see the numerator and denominator version of this decimal. Okay, now let's look at how we mention decimals. Now with decimals, after the decimal point, every individual digit is mentioned separately. So we don't say 55, but we say 55. So if I have 7.289, okay, so I want to say 7.289. Okay, that is wrong. So I'll rather say 7 point, then I'll mention this individually. So 7.289. Now the place values of decimals is a bit different compared to the place values of natural numbers. Okay, so with normally a place value, let's say if I should extend this to be 3, 4. Okay, 347.2. Okay, so 347.289. This would be ones, tens, hundreds, right? But with decimals, naming it becomes different because we start from the 10th place. We don't do ones in decimal. Okay, and then the label is actually tenth. TH is added to it. We have what, 100,000 and so on and so forth. So the naming is a bit different. So if you are joining me now, please kindly contact your friends to join. Okay, today we are having a marathon. We should finish around 3 something. Okay, the reason why we are doing all this is to ensure that we've actually covered some portion of our past questions before we take any exams. It could be an entrance exam, it could be just your school's end of what is going on now. Most schools have not written their end of term exam, so this is just a way for us to prepare for our end of term exam, and especially for any BECE candidates watching me, this is a perfect time to pay attention because we are actually picking some of the questions from BECE past questions. So this is going to help you concentrate and then solve most of the things with me online here. Okay, so as I've explained this, let's just go back to the first example I was trying to sort out quickly. So when we look at this closely, this is the decimal we need to concentrate on, 0.55. Okay, now remember there's a rule that says that a is the same as a over 1. Okay, so it basically means that what, 0.55 is also over what, 1. Okay, now we are going to do something called flipping. I call it flipping. Okay, so we are going to flip the decimals out because we don't want to work with the decimal. Okay, but someone will say that if you flip the decimals out, there's a 0 there, the 0. Okay, now anytime you have a number that starts with 0 and then has any other number greater than 0, we ignore the 0. So 0, 7 is actually 7. Okay, so if I have 0 to 2 is actually 22. Okay, so when we do our flipping, the 0 there should not be an issue for us. Okay, so once we are done with this, we'll move on to standard form. I'm going to explain what standard form is and how to quickly solve standard form questions. Okay, so having said that, we are going to go back to this example, and then they are saying that we should change 0.55 as a fraction in its lowest term. Okay, I might not have the best handwriting on the board, but that's what they are saying we should do. So quickly, once we've established that 0.55 is the same as 0.55 over 1, all we need to do is to do what we call flipping. So I'm going to change the marker, the color of the marker. So 1, 2. How many times did I flip? The number of times you flip informs you on the number of zeros you need to what? Place down there. That's by the 1. Okay, because once you remove the decimal points, the denominator is also supposed to increase accordingly because you are now changing it into a fraction form. So it means that we flipped what? Twice. 1, 2. Okay, so it means down here we're going to add 2 zeros. Adding those 2 zeros basically is going to give us what? 55 over 100. Now 55 over 100, someone will be wondering, as I explained earlier, where did the 0 go? When you have 0, 7 is the same as 7. When you have 0, 22 is the same as what? 22. So with this one, 0, 55 after the flipping, we should get 55 over 100. Now let me change the marker and then we can see if we can break this down. Now the statement here is very important. Okay, in its lowest term. In its lowest term. Lowest term basically means that you should reduce the fraction so that you won't get any number that can go into both the numerator and the denominator of that particular fraction. Okay, so having said that, when we look at this closely, anytime you have a number ending with 5 and then the other number ending with 0, there's a possibility, the highest possibility you have is to use 5 to break that particular number down. Okay, so we are going to use 5 at the top. 5 we're going to 55. We just have to find out what we'll multiply 5 to give us 55, and that is 11. Okay, and then we have 5 going into 100. What to multiply 5 to give us what? 100. Okay, and that is 20. So it means our new fraction from the 0.55, which is now 55 over 100, should be 11 over 25. Having this, you still have to check, because of this statement in its lowest form, you still have to check if you've done the right thing, if you've actually reduced the fraction or the decimal fraction to its lowest term. Let's find out. Can we get any number that will go into 11 and also go into 20? What do I mean by that? Basically, we want to find out what number can be multiplied by another number in order to get 11. 1 and 11. Okay, that's aside. What number can multiply another number to get 21? We have a lot of them, but 1 is part, but 11 is not part, which means that this is the lowest term you could get for 55 over 100. The lowest term of 55 over 100 is 11 over 20. Okay, 11 over 20. And then the surprising thing is that when it comes to equivalent fraction, this is actually an equivalent fraction. 11 over 20 is equivalent to 55 over 100. Okay, but we are not talking about equivalent fractions. That should be a lesson for another day. So this is our very first example. If you need to copy, you can copy, but now we are going to go straight ahead to do our standard form. We are going to try our standard form questions. When we are done, we should look at change of subjects. Okay, the last time we looked at was substitution, but this time I want to look at change of subject, how to change subjects of a formula. Normally your level, they are going to be giving you formulas to change the subject So copy this and then we'll move to the next blackboard. So you have 30 seconds to do that. Awesome. And then as I was saying, if you are new on this channel, kindly subscribe, because we do other things aside this scheduled class, so that anytime a video is uploaded, you'd have access to it. So those who are chatting in the chat section, kindly try and reduce the chat so that we can all pay attention to what is going on the board. Okay, so that is it. Now, standard form. What exactly is standard form? Let me explain before we take any example. Remember, the examples we are taking are basically completely past questions, BECE past questions. Okay, BECE past questions. And then the good thing is that whether you're in SHS or junior high, you can still join us, because I'm not only going to explain the thing at surface value, but at the end of the day, you should be able to get all the information you need to in order to solve any kind of standard form question or any topic that we will pick. Okay, so let me do a better representation of the standard form. I believe I should use, yeah. Okay, so basically with standard form, we are just looking at changing numbers, complex numbers, long numbers, to look very simple. And how do we do that? We just have to reduce the number and then attach it with what? Times 10 raised to the power a number. Now this n that I've written here, there's a way to find that n, there's a way to determine that n, and that is what I'm going to explain very soon. Okay, so let's say I have, let me write it and then we'll all count. So let's say I have 30 million. Okay, 6 zeros means million, so 30 million. I don't want to write this, especially when I'm doing some form of calculation. It means that I'll be writing how many zeros. I'm writing 7 zeros each time I want to express this particular value. I don't want to do this. So what I will prefer doing now basically is to reduce this. That's where standard form comes to play. Okay, so the goal of standard form basically is to find a simple way, a shorter way of writing numbers, a simple and shorter way of writing numbers without changing the value of the numbers, It's very, very important. There's no use if you write a number in a short form or a simple form and then you devalue the number. No, mathematics, we appreciate our values, so we don't really need to devalue our figures or numbers that are given to us. Okay, so quickly, what we should be doing is basically to express this. And then how do we do that? We basically have to do that by reducing this whole number and then multiplying it by 10 raised to the power n. The n is the number of times you have reduced it in terms of zeros in it. Okay, now any number or every number has a decimal form. So if I have just 27 in decimal form will be 27.0. Okay, so which basically means that this 30 million here is going to be 30. Let me count the zeros. Okay, so 30.0. Okay, 30.0 is the decimal form for 30 million. Okay, now we are going to change this to standard form. Just take note of where the decimal point is. The decimal point is after the value of the figure we want to change to standard form. Okay, so let me change the marker so that we can do our flipping. I'm going to be using red. So red means we are going to change. We want to write maybe 30 or maybe 3 times something. Okay, so that we know that, okay, 3 times something raised to the power, this gives us what? 30 million, or 30 times 10 raised to the power something gives us what? 30 million. So in order to do that, we'll concentrate on how to make it 30 million before we do the 3. We'll concentrate on how to make it 30 times 10 raised to the power a value before we look at how to make it 3 times 10 raised to the power a value. Now when I do the 30, it should be easy for you to do the 3 times 10 raised to the power a value. So let's quickly do that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 because I said 30, so 6. So we'll end here. Now, ending here, how many times did we flip? We flipped 6 times. Good. Now, how do we determine the power that we are supposed to do? So this one becomes 30 times 10 raised to the power 6. Okay. Now, the power 6, okay, the index, okay, this is called an index, index, okay. The index should have a charge. The index can be positive, the index can be negative. Now, with negative index, it depends on which direction you are moving when you are flipping. The positive index depends on which direction you are moving when you are flipping. Okay. Now, the reference point is basically our class 1 number line that we were taught, where we know that 0 is in the middle, the positive numbers are on the right, and then the negative numbers are on the left. So quickly, when I'm moving to, this is the rule, let's all pay attention. When I'm moving to the left hand side, I'm moving towards the negative. So standard form requires me to choose the opposite, which is going to be what? Positive. Okay. When I'm moving towards the positive, okay, I'm moving to the positive, and standard form requires me to choose the power for the index for the opposite of it, okay, the opposite direction of it. So with this one, when you look at it closely, we're moving towards what? The negative. This is the negative side. We're moving towards the left, which is the negative side. So therefore, standard form will say that our power should be a positive. You don't need to write the addition here. The addition I wrote here is just to let you know that our power is supposed to be what? Positive. So this basically is what is going to help us solve the next question I'm going to be putting on the board. Now, with standard form, complicated questions will require us to have some knowledge of indices. Are we okay? So let's take our very first example or question, and this is a past question from I believe, yes, a past question. I'm not really at the question page, so I can't really determine which year. Okay, so let's see. We have 0.54 times 0.7 all divided by 9. Okay, so having this, the first thing we need to do is that with standard form, when we get a question like this, we'll say what? Leave your answer in standard form. It means that your final answer should be maybe the number times 10 raised to the power a value. Okay, so we are going to use that to see if we can get that value. So this question is saying that leave your answer in standard form. So let me write that. Leave your answer in standard form. Okay. So you realize that even some questions that are not directly standard form questions, they can tell you to leave your answer in standard form, which means that when you are done doing all the requirements, you need to basically leave your answer in standard form by doing the standard form requirements. So the first thing is that we are going to concentrate on the decimals. Okay, we are going to concentrate on the decimal. So this decimal here, and then this decimal here. Remember, even if it doesn't have a decimal, it means it is what? 0.0. Okay, so this one can also be a decimal, but we won't really concentrate on that. We just concentrate on the top. So quickly, we are going to look at how to change the 0.54. We've already discussed why it is 54. So we are going to look at how to change the 0.54 and then the 0.7 to standard form. So in order to do that, it basically will be that let me take them individually and then do them somewhere. Okay, so with this one, if we go this way, it means that we are going to be getting 0.054. We don't want that. We want a figure that we can actually easily break down, easily find the value of. So maybe that figure, and then we don't want to work with a decimal, so we prefer going to this direction. So that's going to be 1, 2. Okay, so going to that direction, look at the direction we went towards. We went towards the positive, so it means our charge for this particular standard form, or this decimal we are changing to standard form, should be a negative. So this becomes what? 54 times what? 10 raised to the power. We flip 2 times, so 2. But look at the direction we are flipping towards. We are flipping towards what? The positive. So our charge should be what? A negative. Okay, so we've changed this to a standard form. So we just pick that and come and write it here nicely. Negative 2. And then we are going to do the same thing for the 7. So I'll bring the 7 here and then I'm going to work that out. Okay, so I don't want 0.07 because if I flip to the left hand side, I'm going to be getting 0.07. I don't want that. So I'm going to flip to the right hand side so that I can get 7, and then I can work with 7. Now when I flip, it will be times 10 raised to the power. How many times did I flip? Just one. What direction did I flip towards? I flipped towards the positive, so my chart should be a negative for the standard form. So this becomes times 7 times 10 raised to the power negative 1, and then all divided by 9. Remember the 9 doesn't have a decimal, so it doesn't require us to do any form of flipping. Okay, so we just have to leave it that way, and then we'll hope to see that later maybe we can get a number to break the 9 down for us so that that denominator goes away. Okay, so now that we have this, we are going to do something called grouping like terms. Is grouping like terms necessary? No, but because we have 10 raised to the power 2 and 10 raised to the power negative 1, 10 raised to the power negative 2 and 10 raised to the power negative 1, we need to group them so that we can use indices or index to what? Solve that, and then we'll group the 54 and the 7, and we'll do some form of multiplication. Maybe the 9 can actually cancel any of those numbers there, so we'll check that and then we'll see. So doing that, it basically means that we'll now write 54 times 7 times what? 10 raised to the power negative 2 times what? 10 raised to the power negative 1. Now, what right do we have to change this? We have the right to change this because the operation signs between the 54, the 7, the 10 raised to the power negative 2, and then the 10 raised to the power negative 1 basically is multiplication. And then multiplication is commutative. So no matter how we rearrange it, the value is going to be the same. The value is not going to change. Okay? So that will be it. We are done arranging them. So we'll quickly just bring the 9. And then let's continue solving. So quickly, we will not rush to multiply 54 by 7. Okay, we'll rather check and see. Since it is multiplication, it means we can easily break it down with what? 9. So let's check if we can get 9 going into any of those numbers. And I think 9 times 7 should give us 50. Is it 9 times 7? 9 times 7, what would that give us? How many times can 9 go into 54? 6 times. Okay, so 9 here, 1, 9 here, 6. Okay, so we've broken that down, so we can now rewrite it 6 times 7 times 10 raised to the power negative 2 times what? 10 raised to the power negative 1 all over what? 9. Oh no, the 9 is gone, sorry, all over 1. Okay, all over 1. So we'll clean that and then we'll make it all over 1. Now that we've established this, the next thing we need to do basically is to simplify the index form. So I'm going to choose a different marker so that I can highlight what we are supposed to do. So we are going to bring this here and then we are going to solve it. When you look at this close, we have 10 raised to the power negative 2 times 10 raised to the power negative 1. Now pay attention to this. When I have a raised to the power b times a raised to the power c, okay, this is index, okay, a raised to the power c. Index will not require us to do this. Okay, so index basically, this is a. Please let's not forget this is a. Index basically will say that we should, once the base numbers are the same, these are the base numbers a, they are the same, the powers should add. Why should they add? Because the operation sign between them is what? Multiplication. So it becomes a raised to the power what? B plus what? C. It's the same thing we are going to be doing here. Okay, so having that basically is going to mean that we will end up having 10, which is our base number, because we have 10 here and we have 10 here, and then we have negative 2 adding to a negative 1 because the operation sign between them was multiplication. Okay, negative 2 means you owe 2 cedis, negative 1 means you owe 1 cedi, so when you add them in all, you owe what? 3 cedis. So quickly, 10 raised to the power negative 3. And then we'll just now have to replace all this, the thing in the box, this one. We just have to replace it with 10 raised to the power negative what? 3. So this comes back here. Okay, so quickly we'll have 6 times 7 times what? 10 raised to the power negative 3. Remember it's over 1. We can ignore the 1 because anything standing on its own is over 1. Any number standing on its own is over 1. Okay, so good. So now that we have that, we can now just do the multiplication for this. Let's do the multiplication for that, and that should look like 42 Yes, 42. And then we have 42 times 10 raised to the power negative what? 3. So this one is in standard form. How do you know it's in standard form? Because we have our times 10 raised to the power a number. Okay, so that is awesome. Quickly, so your trial question basically is going to be at the top left. At the top left, so you try this. I'm going to write 2 of that to try. So try that. If you want to send it to me through my email, you can do that, and then when I get the least chance, I can check and then mark it for you. So you're supposed to do this. Those who complain that my handwriting is too small, please pardon me. Okay, the board is full, so I have to just squeeze and then get the trial question to you. So let's look at this, and then this one also divided by 0.8. So please, let's try this too. Okay, so I'll just give you maybe you can move to the next example. So the next example, I don't think I should still take a standard form question because I've actually done some form of explanation for the standard form. So we'll actually move quickly to change of subject. Okay, so making a different subject, making a variable in the formula the subject of that formula, even though it might not be the subject of that formula. So you have 30 seconds to copy. It was 1 minute, now it is 30 seconds. So let's do that quickly so that we can progress. Today is marathon 2, marathon 1, because of the rain and everything, we couldn't achieve the 2 hours. Today is marathon 2. Let's see if we are able to achieve the 2 hours. Then again, it is not really compulsory. Those who want to stay, you can stay. Those who will not be able to stay, the video will be uploaded later on YouTube, so you can come back and watch it. But what is the fun in it if you don't stay with us and watch? It means that you just be watching alone, so you can't really contribute to the whole process. Okay, so awesome. The time is up. So the next thing we are looking at, it's standard. No, sorry, we've done standard form. It's change of subjects. Could you believe I'm not eating the whole day? Anyway, change of subjects. I have to step out. We were supposed to have the class at 10, but I have to step out. So I just got back and I've still not eaten. But then again, let's just continue and then we'll see how it goes. So our very first example, with standard form, I'm not going to explain anything, but as I take question by question, you should be able to derive some of the concepts, and if I need to explain anything, I'll do that quickly. So given that F equal VU all over V plus U. This is actually a formula. I think it's a formula in science. So anyone who knows the formula in science can let me know. I think I should be doing a giveaway with some of these things so that when you tell me and it is correct, I can just maybe dash something or give you access to something online or maybe anything. So let's see. I'll think about the giveaway and then we'll see how best we can make that happen. So this is the question. Okay, now this question is a 2-in-1 question basically because now the other part says that we should find V. So V is actually what we are going to find. Okay, find V. Okay, if F equals 20 and U equals 5. Now let me discuss this from the point of view of those who be writing external exams, whether BECE or any form of exams, SAT and all those things. When a question like this is given to you, yes, the smart students will think, okay, let me just do substitution and get my answer. But once they made a statement of find V, okay, basically they will expect some form of calculation surrounding how you made V the subject in the formula. So do not go straight away to do substitution. Do the how do you call it? You can do the change of subject. Then when you get the value, you substitute. At least with that one, you're not going to miss any steps, and then you shouldn't miss any marks. No one is going to deduct any marks from you. So let's look at the solution. Let's look at the solution. I'm supposed to have students joining me from Sunyani. So if you are from Sunyani and you are watching me, just say hi in the chat section. Okay, I'm supposed to have students joining me from Sunyani. Okay, so quickly, let's look at this. Now, looking at this, the first thing you need to do is to rewrite the formula that they are saying you should make a new variable the subject in. And then the key here is that please, if the formula comes with a capital F, maybe capital F, small v, capital U over maybe small v plus what, capital U, do not change the structure of the formula. Okay, sometimes people will see capital F and then when they are writing, they write small f. No, you've changed the structure of the formula. It's no more the same formula. Okay, so you would have to work on that. Please try and maintain the integrity of the formula by keeping the variables, if they are capital, you keep them capital. If they are small letters or small case or lower case, as the English people will call it, you keep them that way. Okay, so basically, yes, that is it. We now have Asida and Janelle joining us. They are always late as usual. Let's just continue. So we have F equals VU all over V plus U. Okay, I think this is my first time seeing Janelle here. Okay, anyway, that's best by the way. Let me just continue with my teaching. So having that, we need to make V the subject. In the process of making V the subject, we would have to move some things around. Okay, we would have to get rid of U. We would have to pack U on one side. And then let me quickly explain the concept of making something the subject. If I should have A plus B equals C, and then now they are saying that I should make B the subject, what it means is that everything around B should be moved away so that B will stand on its own, just like the way C is standing on its own with nothing around it. So in nutshell, it's going to be this. Okay, so having that, that is what we should be expecting when we are doing anything in terms of what, change of subject or making something the subject of the equation. Okay, normally they'll tell you to make something the subject of the equation, not an expression, because you need the equal sign to make the thing the subject. Okay, so expressions, you can never make expressions, you can never make a variable in an expression the subject of that variable. Okay, so quickly, the first thing we need to do is that we can see that we have f, and then we can see we have some form of fraction going on here. With equations, it's not really working with fractions becomes a bit difficult, so I always encourage students that try as much as possible to change the fraction part of that equation to look very simple and linear. So in order to do so, it basically means that we would have to look for a way to get rid of this denominator. Okay, now from our linear equation knowledge, if this we had maybe 3 terms or more, then that's when we would go ahead to look for LCM. But with this one, we just have 1, 2. Okay, so Janelle says she joins, but she doesn't comment. Okay, that's true. A lot of people don't comment actually. So we have 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, just 2 terms. So look at this. If I have C, okay, and it's just 2 terms, this is where you can actually do your favorite math that people have been taught from maybe class 4 or something, cross multiplication. This is where you can do that. But when you have maybe E over F, there's no more just 2 terms but 3, so you'd have to look for LCM for all this. Anyway, that is just linear equation. I think I should have a lot of tutorials on linear equations, so if whatever I just said now is confusing, just go to my videos and look for linear equation tutorials, watch it, and then you'll be fine. So having that, it means that we can just do cross multiplication for this one because it's just 2 terms, as I said earlier. So it means that this whole thing, I'll rather put it in a bracket before I move it, so that it won't look like when it gets there FV plus U. It basically means that the F is only going to affect the V and then it's not going to affect the U. So we'll rather put it in a bracket so that we don't devalue our equation or our formula. So let me just rewrite what I just said, that you have to put this in a bracket, so it becomes into bracket V plus U. So now we can carry this one to go and multiply, because it is what, dividing over here. So we are going to carry it to go and multiply the F. So that will be what, F into bracket V plus U equals VU. Okay, now once we have that, remember that the thing said we should find V, or we should make V the subject and find its value by doing the substitution for this and this. Okay, so we just have to go over our equation and then identify where we have v. We have v here, we have v here, which means that we would have to do some form of factorization. Then again, if you are new and you've not watched any tutorial on factorizations, I have a lot of factorization in the how do you call it, in the video. So if you don't really understand what factorization is, you can check the chat. Did I say chat? Sorry. You can check the video tutorials I've done on factorizations, and then you should be sorted out. So quickly, we'll just have to ensure that this v and this v are factored out to become 1. Once they are 1, then we can find the value of v, and then we'll go ahead and substitute the f and then the u, the values of the f and u, which is 20 and 5 respectively, into the formula. So let's expand. We have to expand to free this v. So it becomes v fv plus what, u, equals vu. When I was in the university, my mathematics teacher told me that mathematics will respect, even though it's not English, we respect the order of alphabet. So if we have maybe A, B, A, you rather write A, B, not B, A. So basically this is FV, okay? So that's just, by the way, something you can just put in mind anytime you are solving math, so that it looks presentable, and then people will actually know that you know what you are about, especially when it is multiplication, okay? It means that no matter how, whichever variable you write first, it doesn't change the value of the variable. So now that we have this, now we have v here, we have v here. So in order to do factorization, we need to do some form of what? Grouping like terms. So in order to do so, that's going to be fv minus vu equal negative u. Why negative u? Let me just explain what I just wrote, okay? Now, every group like terms, grouping like terms basically means that this u, this v should come to where the v's are, and then it's multiplying, so we can't just take only the v and bring it to this side. So in so doing, basically we'll have to carry the whole thing, vu, to the other side. Once we carry that, we need to also get rid of this u. This u is addition, it has addition attached to it, that's the charge, or that's the operation in front of it. So when it goes to the other side, it's going to subtract. So this is how it should look like. The trick here is that most examiners are expecting students not to be able to do this. Even if they do this, someone would forget the negative u, or forget to bring the negative for the u. So then again, that's when they get you to mark you down. So you have to pay attention. You make sure your integers is on point. Okay, so go through the video. If you have any tutorial on integers, watch it so that your integers will be on point. So once we have that, we can go ahead and do some form of factorization. What do we want? We want v. So it basically means that we are going to take out v. Now let's check and see if we can get v at both places, because that's what is the requirement when we want to do factorization. So we have v here, and then we have v here. So we'll factor out v, and then when we factor out v, when I take v from this side, it's left with what? F. And then the operation sign comes. When I take v from this side, it's left with u, and then the operation sign, the u comes, so we have the equal sign minus what? U. Okay, so once we've established that, we'll quickly then try and get rid of this into brackets f minus u. How do we do that? We just have to basically divide both sides by f minus u. So f minus u here, f minus u, and then we'll cancel, and then we'll have v equals negative u over f minus u. Okay, so that is it. We are not done. This is how to find the value of, or this is how to make v the subject of that. Okay, and then now they are saying that we should find the value, or find v. Sometimes if they want you to do that, they'll say someone is saying, is it not negative fu? Negative fu where? Let me see. Oh, okay. So I didn't expand. Thank you very much. It's fu. So basically the expansion. Thank you. This is good that this happened actually, because most students like will do this. So basically this is going to be negative fu. This is negative fu. Thank you very much, Elom. Thank you very much, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan actually typed. That's good. So that is it. So this will be what? Negative fu. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that prompting. So now we have some form of substitution. So we'll do a substitution Wherever we see f, we are going to fix 20. Wherever we see u, we are going to fix what? 5. So it becomes what? V equal negative into bracket 20. Please put them in bracket because it's multiplication that is between what? The f and then the u. Okay, so negative into bracket 20 and then into bracket what? 5, and then we have all over into bracket 20 minus into bracket 5. Okay, so now we are just basically going to simplify this. Okay, now we know that 20 times 5 should give us 100, so we have negative 100, and then we'll have 20 minus 5 should give us 15, so that's 15. Now let's look at this. Let's see if you can break this down. So try to break this down. When you're done, then you change it to what? A mixed fraction. So as I said earlier, when you have 0 and 5, it means you can what? Break down with what? 5. So let's quickly do that breakdown. 5 will go into this 3 times, 5 will go here 20 times, so we should have negative 20 over what? Negative 20 over 3. Okay, now that we have that, basically we should have this as our final answer, or you can actually change this quickly to a mixed fraction. Let's see the mixed fraction. We should get 3 going to, okay, so negative 6, the negative is very important, negative 6 whole number 2 over 3. 2 over 3, don't forget to maintain the denominator because it's very, very important. So basically that is it. I'm going to write maybe 2 of the same thing on the board, and then you're just going to try your hands on it later so that we can move to the next question quickly. So someone is saying that he or she can't see. Let me see how best I can help. Is it that marker? If it is the marker, if you think that maybe the marker I'm using is not so clear, let me know. Then again, I think Harry had solutions to this the last time, and he told you to go to somewhere and then change the resolution of your screen or something. So kindly do that, Harry. You can kindly help her with that in the chat section. So this is our trial question, and the trial question says that, okay, I'll just give one trial question because we have a lot to do today, and then so we have pi to be equal to 3.14. Okay, this is 3. Let me write it well. So hungry, God. Guys, I don't think the marathon, we can meet the deadline to do because I have to eat before I collapse in front of the PC. I have to go and eat before anything like that happens. So G should be equal to 20. And then they are saying that we should find, so please you can try and copy for me. Okay, so those saying that they can't see, please tap on the video. If you are using a mobile, if you see some 3 dots, click on those 3 dots, and then they'll say if you want to change the resolution, they'll say quality. Click on quality and then go to the highest one. So 780p I think should be fine, should be clear enough for you to use. Okay, so I think Karen is helping them out. That is awesome. So let's do that quickly. So let me finish the trial question I was writing, and then find the value of f in f. This is no, this I'd have to change it. So I'd rather make it find the value of, let me just clean it. I didn't even bring the find the value of. So find the value of let me make it v in f. No, I'm trying to twist the question, so I need to go a bit slow. Okay, so in G equal 2 pi square all over V. So this is the trial question. Please try your hands on it. try your hands on it, and then if you like the video, give the video a thumbs up. A lot actually went into this. I had to rush and leave certain things behind so that I can bring the class to you. So liking the video is the easiest way you can say thank you to me because of the efforts I'm putting into this. Okay, so please like the video, and then kindly copy the one in the green box so that kindly copy the one in the green box, the trial question in the green box, so that we'll go quickly and then pick another topic, pick one question from that topic, and then we'll solve. Okay, so the next one is percentages and its application. So with percentages and its application, we should actually be able to discuss a little bit about commission, a little bit about decimals, a little bit about profit percent and all that. Okay, so we'll be doing that shortly, and then what I'll do is that I will actually, okay, so well noted. I'll change the green marker. What I'll do is I'll actually dictate the question. I don't know if I should write the question on the board. So let's see. I might write the question on the board, or I might dictate it. Whichever one, it's okay. It should be okay. If you think I should write a question on the board, let me know. If you think I should dictate it, you should also let me know, so that we'll see how best we can progress. So percentages and data that we want to look at will be finding the discount. Okay, so finding discount price, and then I'll just use this opportunity to explain what is discount, what is discount price, what is marked price or original price, and all that. Okay, so let's move to the next board. Now moving to the next board, as I said, percentages and its application. So percentages and its application. So that's actually a topic in the BECE Ghanaian syllabus. Okay, so let's see the very first one, example one that we want to look at. So this one we should look at maybe 3 of this. Okay, we should look at 3 of this. This is a very simple one. Okay, Kofi had 100 mangoes, yeah, obviously mangoes, and sold 80 of them. Okay, pardon my handwriting. What percentage? So percentage, I'll just write a symbol so that what percentage of mango is left? What percentage of mangoes is left? Okay, so what percentage of mangoes is left? So left. Okay, so yeah, so people are saying the green marker is down, so I'm going to go with the bright yellow, and then we are going to solve. I know most of you like the bright yellow. Then again, I have black. I can't write with black because the board is black. Let me see. Let's try the white. Yeah, black and white chalk. Okay, so having that, look at this. Now they are saying that Kofi had 100 mangoes and sold 80 of them. Okay, so how much? What's the percentage of what is left? Now they are not saying the percentage of what he sold, but the percentage of what the amount of mango after Kofi sold 80 of them. So it means that we would have to do some form of subtraction here. Okay, so the mango basically is 100. Okay, the mango is 100. And then he decided that, okay, with the 100 mangoes, I'm going to sell 80 of them. So let's look at it. The total, please tell me or let me know if the white marker is okay. So the total number of mangoes. So the only downside of word problems is that you'd have to be writing a lot of statements, okay? And that's where you get your marks. If you don't write statements, it will be very difficult for you to obtain your marks, okay? Then please don't forget, we have Kahoot on Saturday, which is tomorrow. French, Kahoot French, okay, which is French. So we have 100, and then number of what? Number of mangoes sold. Number of mangoes sold is 80. Okay, now number of mangoes left, we will have to find it because that's the percentage they are saying. We should find the percentage of mangoes left, not the percentage of What? Ah, okay. Sold 80 of them. Okay, thank you. So number of mangoes left. Mangoes left. So it means that we'll basically have to do a simple subtraction to be 100 over 100 minus what? 80, and that should give us 20. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I think I've sorted it out and sold 80 of them. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means that you guys are paying attention. It's good. Next time I'll just try and eat before I come. Okay, so having that, we'll quickly have to write this. Now, to do percentage, percentage is actually a fraction form of something. Once you decide that you want to do percentage, if you are changing a fraction to a percentage, all you need is to multiply it by what? 100, and then you get that. But percentage is what? Anything over 100. So if I have 2 and I just divide 2 by 100, I have 2%. Okay, that is how come we always ensure that your exams tallies to 100 in terms of marks, so that we can strike the percentage for it. So in this one, it basically means that a percentage of mangoes left equals 20 over what? 100. Now 20 over 100 is very, very important. It's not 20 over 80, because the total amount of mango should be the denominator of what you are trying to solve for. So 100%. Okay, so we just have to multiply by 100. This 100, obviously we cancel this 100, and then now we'll have what? 20%. So our answer should be what? 20%. This is the easiest form of percentage and its applications questions you ever get. Okay, percentage and its application question you ever get. So let me see if I can write one relating to this one that you can actually try. Okay, so that one should be, let's say, find two whole number. Okay, let me make it 12. 12 whole number 1 over 2% of Ghana cedi 80. Okay, so 80 Ghana cedis. Okay, so okay, so awesome. The white marker is nice. Yes, so I'll just use the white marker as my main writing tool. If I have to do any highlighting, I'll use any other color. Okay, so thank you. I didn't know the white was even there. So yeah, that is what you are supposed to try. We are going to move to the discount. So questions involving discount. Hopefully we should be able to also work with simple interest and all that. Okay, so let's see. So that is it. Please let me know if you are done copying. Please let me know if you are done copying. Okay, so I think this one should take like maybe 20 seconds or something to copy. It shouldn't be you shouldn't waste the whole time there. And then please like the video, and then if you are new here and not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe. And I want to know how many of you have actually tried the IQ test. How many of you have actually tried the IQ test? If you've done that, let us know your score in the comment section. Let's be proud. And I've actually also done a tutorial that will actually help you improve your IQ. The tutorial should help you, give you some form of tips to improve your IQ, and also how to prevent dementia in old age. So you should also watch that tutorial. Okay, so a lot of people are done. Now let's quickly move to the next question. The next question says that a car costs. Okay, so with this one I'm dictating, or I should write. Okay, let me just write. So a car costs. What have I done? Wow. Anyway, a car costs Ghana cedi 12,500. Okay, now this 0.00 is just for pesos, so you don't really have to pay attention to it when you are doing your calculation. A discount of 9% is given. For cash payment, okay? Find the cost of the car when payment is made in cash. So with this one, a lot of people use this discount thing to get a lot of people to shop at their stores or car dealership and all that. They give discounts to attract people. Okay, so knowing how discount works is actually going to go a long way to help us. Okay, so a car costs what? 12,500. A discount of 9% is given for cash payments. Okay, find the cost of the car when payment is made in cash. When payment is made in cash. I don't know why my handwriting is just climbing the wall. Anyway. I know you're also hungry. Anyway, I thought I was the only one. So, what happens now is that we need to analyze this question quickly, and then we'll just pick out the values that we'll need in order to do our calculation. Okay, so this is the discount that is going to be given, and then this one is actually called discount percent. Okay, and then this is the cost of the car, the original cost of the car. So this is called marked price of the car. The marked price is actually different from the discount price. Okay, now they said find the cost when the payment is made in cash. When you make a cash payment, what happens is that you enjoy a discount. So what they're actually saying we should find is what? The discounted price or the discount price. I can't read that. The discount price. Okay, so now we have marked price, we have discount percent, and then they are saying we should find a discount price. These are the two things that have been given, and they are saying we should find the third one, which is what? The discount price. So let's look at how to do this in order to get the answer. Let's look at how to do this in order to get the answer. Quickly, the first thing we need to do is to take note of the marked price. So let me just write here solution. So solution, and then we'll have marked price. Remember I said the marked price is actually the original price of the item being sold. Okay, the original price of the item being sold is the same as the marked price. It's the same as the marked price. Okay, so this is the marked price, which is 12,500. These two zeros are not relevant, but we will still bring it because we are dealing with money. And then once you are dealing with money, it basically means that you should be dealing with some form of pesos, or pesos can come in at any time. Okay, so this is the marked price, and then because this is percentage and its applications, we need to relate the marked price in terms of percent. Now marked price basically means it is actually the original price of the car, so therefore it is the 100% money maybe the salesperson wants to make. Okay, then later probably the manager came and said, oh, today's Christmas, so let's quickly just do some discount sale. Okay, so during the discount sale, it will be at 9% discount. The price of the car in terms of percentage should reduce. Okay, how does it reduce? It basically means that when you take the 100%, you subtract the 9% from it, so that you can get the discount portion of the car in terms of what percentage, or the amount the person will pay in terms of percentage. Okay, so when we do the subtraction, we should get 91. Okay, so that should be our new price in terms of percentage. The 91 represents the percentage of our new price. Okay, so percentage of new price. Okay, so it is the new price they are saying we should find. Okay, then if we know or we have that, then we can quickly do what we call a simple if more or less divide sort of thing. Ratio, we can simply use ratio to solve this. How do we use ratio to solve this? If I have 100% giving me 12,500, and then I have 91%, what will 91% give me? I don't know. So what I'll do is that if 100 gave me 12,500, 91% will obviously give me less. Less is in reference to the x. So if less, more should divide. Which one is the more? The 100. This is the less. So it will be 91 over 100. You can forget about the percentages for now. And then you multiply it by this side of the equation. Okay? This side of the equation. So that will be what? 12,500. Okay? Those who are saying that they are hungry, please. Me, I'm not eating since morning. Me, I'm guessing that people have eaten. So don't compare. So having that, basically, let me change the marker. When you look at this closely, this cancels this. So the zeros go away. So let's see. We'll have 91 over 1 times what? 12. So that will be what? 125. 125. So anything over 1 is that same thing. So 91 times 125. Who knows the answer? Someone who has eaten should do the calculation for us quickly. If you know you are here and you've eaten, do the calculation for us. But let me see. Doing this 912. Okay, so we should get 1, 2. Okay, so we should get 11375. Okay, we should get 11375. And then remember that this is the calculation, and then you do 11375. Don't leave it that way. You write a statement stating that the price of the car, or the car cost this when paid in cash, or 11,375 is the discount price of the car. Okay, please, if the thing is in Ghana cedis, write Ghana cedis. Don't worry, write cedis, because once you write cedis, you devalued the whole thing. Okay, you devalued the whole thing. So basically, that is how you solve a discount question. That is how you solve a discount question. Now we are going to go into the big boys. Okay, the big boys, which means what? The complex form of mathematics you should ever get. Marathon 1, we actually looked at plane geometry. We also started perimeter and area of plane figures, but we didn't go into details. But with perimeter and area of plane figures, we actually had a class on it, which was streamed live. Okay, so perimeter and area of plane figures, please kindly check the videos. You should have an intensive and extensive and detailed video on perimeter and area of plane figures, where we took past questions, we solved, and then we were able to achieve something. So if you were not with us at that time, please go over and watch that video so that you can learn. With math, it's constant practice. Every day you need to practice. Okay, you don't need to give up. You need to practice, because the more you solve, the better you become. That's one shocking thing. If you solve maths and you think let go of the book, then I'm sorry, it's not going to work for you. Okay, so you practice, and then that should work. Now I think we've done 1 hour. So I will beg of you that we end the class here. Tuesday, yes, we should have a class on Tuesday. Please again, Tuesday we should be able to do the marathon. Okay, but let me first of all seek your opinion on the number of people who wants the class to continue, and then the number of people who want us to end it here, because I wanted us to look at surface area volume. We've done that, so I wanted us to quickly look at plane number plane and all that. So in the comment section, if you want the class to continue, you can let me know if you want us to just end it here so that we can all go and have some food, and then we'll be energized Tuesday when we come back. Then we'll do our 2 hours marathon. Okay, so it basically means that Tuesday, please, when we come, okay, ensure you've eaten. I'll also ensure I have eaten. Ensure you have enough data. Ensure you've charged your phone, because you don't want any situation whereby someone will say my phone has gone off. It happened the last time when we were attempting the marathon. Okay, so ensure you've done all that. Okay, now I'm not going to give assignments for this weekend, basically because there's 70 questions I gave. Some of you, the deadline is today. It was supposed to be at 10 a.m., but I've still not closed the form anyway. So I'll close it because I actually, the time, Google gives me the time everyone submits their answers. So I'll actually know if you submitted before 10, you are good. But if you submitted after 10 p.m., what will happen is that it's either I'm going to deduct marks, or I would not even record that particular mark because you submitted it late. So because of the 70 questions is actually supposed to cover the whole week. It has covered the whole week, so you just have to enjoy your weekend. Someone is saying I should continue in the chat section. I'm tempted to. Okay. So yes, so I think most people are saying that we should continue on Tuesday. So we'll continue on Tuesday. Jesse, you two, you are shouting. Okay, Jesse, now for Nathan the last time. So sorry, those who wanted us to continue, please, we'll continue on Tuesday. Let me see if I can get some form of food so that I can be energized, my brain can work well and prevent the little errors that are occurring. Okay, so Tuesday. So you see, you can see that I've not really changed. I'm still the same. Normally when I don't eat and I come to class, the same thing happens. So corona or no corona, we are still the same. We are not changing. So you guys should not change. Take good care of yourself. Solve the math. Okay. If you still continue to say that you don't understand it, so therefore you are not going to solve it, it's not going to work for you. Okay. Yes, I did receive your work, Karen. No, Karen, Lise, please, I'd have to verify that, okay? But if you've sent it, I should receive it. Let me know the email you used, and then again, if you wrote your name, I should see it. So don't worry. So I'll close the form. Rodney is saying I should close the form, so I'll close it. But Rodney, as I said, whether I close it or not, Google is going to tell me when someone submitted, whether someone submitted 10-1 or not. So Kahoot is happening tomorrow. It is French. Kahoot is happening at 6. The pin should be out at 5:45. Please, you people are saying we should do French. So when it is time, I don't want to see just maybe 10 players. No, it won't be fair because I want to bring fun to you. So I end up using my data. So if I use my data and I have just maybe 10 people playing or 5 people playing, when I have 100 students, then I don't think it is what? Fair, okay? Okay, so please ensure that you participate in the Kahoot tomorrow. Have a nice day, and then I miss you all. We are hoping that school reopens so that I can see all of you, your face, even though some of you are sometimes annoying, but I understand teenage issues. So I was once like that. So yeah, take good care of yourself, and then have a nice day. So I'll see if I can get some form of music to play for you people once you do your chatting, because I know most of you will not go off now. Okay, so let me see if I can get some form of music to play. Now with the music, because YouTube can actually ban me. So let's see, music. So it's been great having you guys joining me. I know most of you didn't join because the normal time, which was supposed to be 10, there was a shift in the time, but I'm glad that most of you were able to. Those who have been following me, I really appreciate that. I'm taking note of those who have been consistent in my class, and then I know that one day you see the benefit of all this. Okay, so I should give 70 questions all the time. That can be done. Probably I have students Someone is saying they can't hear me. I'm saying that if I give 20 or 10 difficult questions Tuesday and Friday, it means that throughout the week you have math to do. And then if I give 70 on Tuesday and then I let you submit it on Friday, it means that over the weekend you don't have math work to do. So you should have some form of relaxation over the weekend. Even though I know some of you still have work to do over the weekend, it should reduce the amount of assignments you get. So let's discuss this extensively and agree on it. And then those who are on Telegram, you can also continue the discussion there. Engage your other friends so that we just agree on it, and then we'll know whether every week we are going to be doing 70 questions or we'll just do the bit by bit. But you see, the 70 questions is actually because now I'm doing the, how do you call it? Because now I have to do, you can't hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? I think you can hear me now. You should be able to hear me now. So the 70 questions actually is because of the marathon we are doing now. Okay? So with the marathon we are doing now, I can't do marathon where I'll solve a lot of questions from different topics, and then you would end up just doing 10 questions in all. Okay, so maybe after the marathon we'll go back to the 10 and then the 15 and the 20 questions in all. So yes, I'll end here on Telegram. Enjoy your day and have a fruitful weekend.